And now we should be live. There we go. We're now live on Discord. On what's that thing called? There we go. YouTube. Cool. So we're live on Twitch and YouTube. So pick your place you want to hang out. YouTube doesn't have any ads. So if you want to be ad free, you can go ahead and jump on YouTube, and we'll hang out there. All right, let's get this show on the road. So I've been developing a Discord bot because I'm trying to learn how to code better in Python and learn more. Learn more MySQL. So I'm building like this loot tracker that can track loot in Remnant 2, and I'm pretty sure there's tons of trackers out there that already do that nonsense. But that's fine. It's mainly for me to build things correctly. It's not something I'm probably going to release to the public, but something I'm just having fun with and learning. So I'm using a bunch of different resources and trying to figure out how to actually build a Discord bot. It's much easier than I thought it would be. I've built a mod bot. I've also built like a cooler streamer bot. But this one has been like my big project I'm really working on for myself. That's taking in data, pushing data, retrieving data, showing it to the user. So it's been a pretty cool road so far. And right now, where I'm with it, I guess I'll demo it really quick. Where is my Discord? I think I need to bring it up here, and we can do a display of the screen, like hither, I guess. We'll disable. I'll turn that one off. So we'll go here. And then, so it's just like, give you some bot info. Oh, I don't have it active. I gotta activate my bot. Hold on one second. Activate my bot. If the bot's active, it means it has a database in lock, so then you can't make updates to the back end of the database. So you got to make sure that your data. I have to make sure that my bot is disabled. All right, so or deactivated. So let's do bot info. Just gives you basic information what it is. And then the coolest thing that I'm working on right now, well, I guess cool for me, is we'll go out and grab a list of the database items for all the items that are out there and a nice little embedded message, 10 items per message in a, figure out how to format things correctly, because inline was nice, but it's making things really messy, so I had to figure out some formatting so I could actually make it look pretty and give do two weapons per line. And once you do that, it makes a new line underneath it, and it gives you 10 pages of all the different weapons that are out there. And then I did, let's do some filtering. I was like, that's great and all, but let's make sure if someone wants to see just handguns, let's just look at the handguns. So that, just basic things right now that's just working on it, doing basic queries to retrieve it. So it works nicely. I like it. All these messages will time out after 3 minutes and provide a message. I think it's actually providing a message for every single command that's ran. So if there's 2 commands that are run, it'll give 3 messages 3 times. I have to correct that. It's showing give a message once after everything times out. But I guess the reason why is because this one was ran maybe like 5 seconds before this one. This one could be ran a minute before this one. So that's why I get 3 messages. I might get away with that message and just disable. These buttons actually get disabled. The messaging actually gives a little bit more, let's see when it pops up, just gives a little bit more nonsense they don't need to the actual screen. I'm going to make these Imperial too, just because then it makes it a little bit more pretty and nicer. So if I do release this to the public, I'll probably put it in my Discord where I'll use it with a few other friends. We can use it for different things. And make this Imperial so then it will pop up and only be visible to the person running it, just to keep chat clean. Because this just makes it messy and it would be very spammy. If someone comes in behind you and start choosing it, like, hey, wait, I can't say my weapons anymore. The next command, once I get everything set up in the back end, is start being able to add loot. I want to add loot to it because then you can start calculating points, and every single weapon is going to have a specific type of a point value to it that'll be tied to it. So, like, a hardcore weapon could be like worth like 250 points. A weapon that's like you start off with, it'd be like 5 points. A weapon that can be found on the world in Remnant 2. This is all Remnant 2 based. So a weapon that's found in like the world could just be worth 10 points. If it's hard to get in the world, it's an RNG spawn, but there's a space to get to it. Might increase it to like 25 points. And every single weapon's gonna have a point. And as you collect all the weapons, you gain points and you gain looter points. The more loaded points you have, the higher score you have, and blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know. Just something fun I'm doing. Don't know what I'm going to do with it publicly or not, but it'll definitely live in my Discord for now. Right now it's on my test server, but it's I'm having fun with it, and it's a really cool project for me to learn more in-depth program with Python, SQL, and connecting two applications together. Eventually, the goal will be to get a website running, so I can have this actually at a front end of a website that I can add all that same information instead of using slash commands. I can maybe have a nice little completed spreadsheet of everything I've collected in a specific order. I will request the user to import in. You import in, it'll file into the database, and with your user ID and the loot table. So then you know that you can search for everything, and then those points will be added, and then you have cool bragging rights of like, oh hey look, it timed out, and it only gave one command, but that was only this first one. So let's give the next one. Oh, see, yep, this one timed out, and then this. I should actually probably have it say, hey, the command of Remnant 2 weapons timed out. Whoa, ouch. What's up, Eldernox? What's up, Eldernox? How are you, man? So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm having fun with it. It's pretty cool right now, and it's a small little project that's being built, so I can learn. I'm all about the learning. I'm doing good, dude. I want a cake today, but the cake was a lie. So, so today, now, I guess what I have to, the cake is a lie for sure. So what I have to do now with this, let's set this back up where I had it. So, oops, did that wrong. There we go. Nope, there we go. So the way so what I'm doing now is I'm making tables for. So I have tables. So right now I have all my tables in the back end right here. So here's all my tables, and I don't know if you can really see that. It's probably really small, but I'll bring it up here. Here's all my tables that have everything to do with every single weapon that's out there for Remnant 2 weapons. Every single type of weapon. I didn't split up by handgun or melee or long gun. It's just a weapons table. It just makes it easier. It's less tables I need to worry about. So I can so when the third DLC comes out, I will put all that data together, drop it into here. I actually borrowed this from Fextra Life. So anything that is here, you see here is directly from Fextra Life. So thank you very much. Credit goes out to Fextra Life for all this data. The DLC 3 I'll probably put together. I do not see cookies on that. Is this no cookies? No cookies for you. I don't have any cookies to share. I ate them all. They were delicious. They were peanut butter chocolate chip cookies. Actually, I wish I had cookies. I didn't have any cookies today. I'm being a good boy. No cookies for you. Those are the best. I love peanut butter chocolate chip. They are delicious. But yeah, so this little table is kind of like what's running that command you saw that I was showing earlier. Then I have the player profile command, which when you run the player profile command, you'll be able to add specific weapons, specific games that you play. Actually, let me showcase that too. I didn't showcase that. So how that actually works. So here, then you have the weapon, and then we do create profile. And then, actually, I'm going to have to go in here and do something really fast with SQL because my profile already exists. I need to delete all those profiles. I forgot how to do that. What is that freaking command? I'm having a brain fart. I thought I had it here. I think it's delete, drop, something. Well, what is it? I might just delete everything manually really quick. I can't seem to remember the stupid command I wanted to run. Whatever. I'll look it up later. And right now I'm just going to delete everything. Save it. Done. I just can't remember. I forget. Was it a drop? Was it delete? I forget. Remove. I forget the freaking command. Or MySQL. Anyway, not a big deal. So now I deleted all that data in there. So now if I do create profile. Oh, hold on. Refresh everything because it still sees as that data is still there. I might have to restart the bot. I don't think it's dynamic right now, but let's see. Should be dynamic. Let's kill the bot. Bot dead. Bot brought back to life. See, some things I have to work out. Create profile. There we go. So let's say, all right, let's create your profile. Select select from the list of supported games. And right now it's gonna be Remnant 2, Thrones of Liberty, blah 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 blah. Obviously, the only one that's really supported right now is 1. So I can type in 1. I can type in Remnant 2. But for the simplicity's sake, we're gonna type in 1. Do you want to add more games? No. Ha! I forgot to spell it. I didn't spell have fun correctly. Have fun gaming, and that's it. This is created, and then like you said before, if you try creating your profile again, it will bitch. I don't think I have update profile in here yet. No. Where update profile is just do an update to the table and create the actual table. What the hell is a command? They're freaking dropping the data from everything. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing with this right now. So now we have that profile created. And all that will tie back to a bunch of other things where you update your profile and update different nonsense. It will work nicely and correctly. Oop, there we go. Cool. And that is what I am doing. Yeah, I've been trying to stay away from all that stuff too, man. Like all that stuff is no good. Chocolate and all that nasty shit. I might have to swap to this screen. Let's swap to this screen really quick. Now let me do window capture. Actually might work better this way. Holy crap, it's so big! And then we can do stretch. Yeah, hold on, wait. Where's my chat? My chat disappeared. That's the fucking problem. Docs, multi-chat? Where the hell did that go? Oh, here it is. There we go. Now I can see what the hell's going on. Shows you all the stuff that is in candy and junk, man. Yeah, actually, I could actually go back to this. There we go. That's nicer. I always break it. Yeah. You know, I mean, everything in moderation. You're not going to die from one, but everything in moderation. Even moderation. I mean, even exercise in moderation. Too much exercise is bad for you. Alright, how am I doing? Where the hell did this go? What was I doing here? Where's my code? That was my full loot bot. There you are. Alright, cool. So the next thing I need to do now with this code for my table is, so I'm setting up points, and these points, I have a actual loot point. Did I make the loot points table? Actually, I didn't make the loot points table. I didn't create the loot points table yet. How was my structure for that? I gotta look at my structure now. I had a structure for that. I think it was going to be... Yeah, it was going to be... So, player profile... Oh, loop... Oh, I just have to run it. I already have it created. There we go. I already had the structure there. So now we have everything. So now that's created. So we can take a look at this and see. Make sure actually there. Yep. We can always do this too. We can just do describe loot points. And there's my table. Cool. Primary key is the ID. It has a foreign key of game ID. So cool. So now what I want to do is, okay, so I have my loot points. Underneath loot points, I need to actually not underneath loot points. I think underneath Actually, underneath loot points, yes. Underneath, sorry, I'm getting all confunkled here. So underneath loot points, I need to create an update statement. I know, is it my Remnant 2 weapons? My Remnant 2 weapons. Because underneath my Remnant 2 weapons table, I'm going to have 2 new columns, difficulty class and attainability. These are going to be how hard is it to get to the weapon, which is going to dictate how many points. And oh no, okay, good to know because I haven't updated it yet. Thanks for the heads up. I won't download it. Difficulty class will be, the AS10 Bulldog and Remnant 2. You either start with that as a challenger, or you can buy it in Ward 13. That's gonna be like 3 points. It's a starting weapon, and you can get it pretty easily from inside of Ward 13. Whoever sells it, I forget who sells it. Who sells it? Barbus sells it at Ward 13. So you can buy that easily and start with if you choose challenger. Probably like 3 points. Attainability, easy. And then you have like we'll go down and look at like I'm just gonna use Savior for argument's sake, which I don't even see on here. What the fuck is Savior? Hello? Where name is equal to Savior? Oh shit! I don't have Savior on here? How about name like Savior? Am I spelling Savior correctly? Huh? Where? Oh, butthead. Wow, I don't have even the corrupted Savior on here? That's no bueno. Am I spelling Savior correctly? S-A-V-I-O-R. Does it have to be capital? It shouldn't matter. Case shouldn't matter. Can I do ignore case? Ignore case. That's weird. Huh. Alright, well, good to know. I don't have corrupted Savior on here? Yeah, I have to go manually get those weapons. Maybe I deleted them by accident and didn't realize it. Oops. Oopsies. Alright, anyway. So let's look at like I don't know. Let's try and find different. Let's look at the corrupted weapons because they're a little bit harder to get because they're locked behind the currency and you don't always get a apparition to spawn all the time. So I'll probably make these maybe like a medium with a point of like I don't know, maybe 15 or 20. And based on that, you can you start collecting them. I'm gonna do Elden Ring. I'm gonna do probably Thorns and Liberty and things like that. Thorns and Liberty might be a little trickier, but that's a different discussion. But yeah, so I'm having fun with this. So let's actually get this created. I can't believe I got Savior. But so the problem is that I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to update. I mean, I could just go here and just update everything if I wanted to, but I was trying to learn the actual code to do it in SQL, and I think it's update Remnant 2 Remnant 2 weapon, not weapon mods, weapons, and then we say set the class, and it's assigned to a case or equals case. And then I can say when name is, I'm going to say this is equal to ASB10 Bulldog. AS-10 Bulldog. Then this is going to be easy. And then I think we do the same thing too. We can say itchy. Then we do the same thing here, right? So when name is assigned to Alpha Omega, that's behind the boss fight. I think boss fight, I actually had a structure for points too. I forget where I put that. Hold on, let me go through my notes. Structure for points I had. What the fuck? Oh, here we go. Ah! What the fuck? Alright, this is what I was looking at. So structure for... I can't show it on the screen. So... God damn it. Will that show on the screen? No, it won't. So structure for point is going to be... anything that's starting is going to be easy. Anything that's a puzzle focused is going to be hard. Anything that's going to be overworld is going to be... I might change that to medium instead of easy. So this is going to be our... I'm trying to clean this up because I want to paste it into... There we go. All right, so let's drop this here so we can have it. We'll do this. So starting is easy and worth 5 points. Puzzle, I might make medium, 45 points. Overworld, I might make medium. And say like 30 points. Sometimes you're fighting through a lot of enemies to actually find the freaking nonsense in Remnant 2. Boss, I'm going to change it to 65. Because some bosses are a pain in the ass. I was actually making this like, maybe like the high 80s. 87 or something like that. Actually, 85. I'm trying to keep it like, you know, 5 and 10s. I don't want to do like any crazy cockamy numbers because it's just easier to calculate. And then hardcore, I was thinking 250. I'll do 100 for a boss fight. I could get really granular and have like, you know, different, you know, easy boss, hard boss, stupid boss, you know, medium boss. And split up the points like that as well, but I think this is getting too granular. So I'm thinking 85 points for boss is fair. If we feel that things at the, you know, if I'm playing around with it, but I think 85 points is more than enough for a boss fight. Maybe 100. Let's be generous. And then I might bump this up to 300 hardcore. I think hardcore should be really hard, highly rewarded. Actually, I'm gonna make this 90. I think this should be 350. Because hardcore is just ridiculous. You know, if you're beating the freaking boss, the end boss in hardcore, yo, props to you. I won't do that. So I'm pretty decent at Remnant 2, but I ain't that decent. And so I think 350 is a very nice number. So we can actually turn around now and just go through this, and then Alpha Omega. This is a boss fight. So Alpha dash Omega. Then this should be hard, but it's a boss. Then when name is assigned to Alphion. Actually, before I go any further, let's just make sure this actually runs. Let's do one more. When name is assigned to APHELION. I think this is also a boss, wasn't it? Yeah. Then hard. I might have to actually. I'm thinking about this. I might lower this because you're gonna fight a good amount. I'm gonna go back to 80. I'm gonna do 75. It's how many freaking boss fights are you gonna do to actually? Like, how many guns are actually created from bosses? So it's hard, but it's the whole objective of the game is to beat said boss to get said weapon. So I think 75 is a good number. So now if we run this. You're about to update statement without a where clause. Am I? No, I'm not. I'm going to do what? Did I not do this right? I think I did this right. Yeah, but that should be fine. Set clause Clause. Set. Oh, wait, hold on. Cancel. I think I have to rename this a difficulty class, actually. Difficulty class is going to be. So, difficulty class. So, when... excuse me. When difficulty... I did that wrong. Difficulty case. This was difficulty... Set difficulty case equal to... This is like an if statement. Case when name is assigned is equals ASN10 bulldog, then easy, then hard. Let's do one more. Let's do something that can't be. Let's look at the iron greatsword. Let's actually do when name equals iron greatsword easy. So now I'm forgetting my other structure I had here too. I had the point structure. Oh, you know what? I think I'm doing this wrong. This needs to be starting. This needs to be boss. This needs to be starting / bought. That's right. That's what difficulty class is. Boss. Starting / bought. The other thing I'm thinking of, I was having a brain fart, was my obtainability, which is similar syntax using the when whatever nonsense. So underneath this, I can do obtainability. Let me not fucking butcher that because I probably will. Copy column name. If I can copy every single column name, isn't it? Oh no. Obtainability equals case. Then I can do the same thing here. And then now, because this is starting bought, we know that this is easy. This is hard. I know I was doing something wrong. This is hard. And this is easy. Let's do one more that's medium. Let's do a corrupted gun I was going to use, right? Corrupted Alphion. Let's do the corrupted deceit. Do we need commas? I don't know. I'll find out in a second. When name assigned to corrupted or equal to corrupted how do you spell this stupid thing? Alphion. Oh, I forgot the then. Then this is gonna be boss, because this is technically a boss. Oh, but it can't. Fuck. Hold on. Select. Actually, what did I have? I don't think I have anything in my freaking from loot points yet. Not yet. Alright, so that makes it easier. So I'm gonna need one more. So I'm gonna need apparition, which will be medium. Let's call it apparition. I have no idea how to spell that. That's do not use words you cannot spell. Not appreciation. Apparition. Apparition. There we go. I spelled appreciation. Do not use words you cannot spell. All right, so medium. I think we'll make this 55. We'll put this up here just so it's. Just so that it's tied correctly. So if you're going after a corrupted weapon, I'm going to bump this up by 5 more. Actually, 85 more. So now it's 30 more points than this. So now this is actually going to be apparition. And then we'll change this to be medium. So your difficulty class is being set to whatever's. And then, you know, the name, you know, difficulty class for ASM Bulldog is starting and bought. ASM Bulldog attainability, easy. Let's run this. It didn't like it. Oh, this has to be a comma. There we go. And then end. Actually, what I should do here, I should just do also. Else unknown. Actually, I might make everything else unknown, right? Let's not do that. I think this has to be out further. So this should end up attainability equals case. When name is assigned is equal to AS10 ASM Bulldog, then easy. Right, but why is this oh, because you know why it's bitching? Because yeah, it's bitching. It doesn't like something. Oh, I forgot the then here. Come on, guys. Yeah, keep me honest. Without where clause, possible data loss, are you sure? Yeah, I can recreate the table easy, but that's fine. Okay. So now if I come back down here and say, show me the weapons. Ah, fuck. I didn't want to put... Did I really do unknown there? Oh, I didn't want to do that. I think it wants the else. Alright. That's easy now. We'll just go back and delete shit. Not a big deal. So it needs an else statement. Okay. I gotcha. Alright, cool, but it worked. As you can see, AS10 Bulldog, starting bought. How is it easy to get? Easy. Well, why was I able to use a freaking... Hold on. I'm about to say. Get the fuck out of here. That's better. Cool. So everything else is null. Exactly what I wanted. So this is Iron Great Start starting bought. The corrupted Alpheon is apparition medium, and everything else is set the way we need it to. Now I think what I should do is, because I wanted to do that, we can do the same thing here. We can say instead of doing update, we gotta do an insert into. So, and we'll give those values. Where's my insert into table? I thought I had that. I guess not. Oh no, here it is. Yeah. So insert into is easy too. So we're just gonna say insert into loop point, and we have to give the columns we're gonna update or insert into, and those columns are gonna be game ID, Actually, we're going to do 1 right now. So there's game ID 1. This should auto-generate. We shouldn't need a game ID. So game ID, class, obtainability, points. So game ID. Where the hell is my insert? I try to keep like all the different like create tables are at the top because that's the first. Well, actually, yeah, create a table, setting active database, and blah blah blah. Actually, this is create a database. Create a database. Create the database. Set the database as active. Create the tables, then insert into tables. Alter them if you need to. Update them if you need to. Alter them if you need. So I'm just trying to keep everything organized so I can just easily run these scripts when I need to. So insert into is going to be game ID, obtainability, points. And then we're going to say the values are going to be, oops, it's going to be game, it's going to be ID1. It's going to be, we're going to say starting / bought. Where the hell is that? Should I bought? Let's bring this up here so I can actually work with this correctly. Insert up here. So we're going to do starting, oops, we'll do 1 starting / bought. This is going to be easy. Easy peasy, 5. Helps if I actually, like, you know, put quotations around my strings. Okay. And then the same thing. We'll do quotations, 1, puzzle, medium. I think I reduced the price of, I'm going to reduce the cost of the actual winning. I'm going to make it like 25. 45 is a little much. If I'm saying puzzles are 45 points and apparition is only 55, that's kind of a unfair, whatchamacallit thing. Point value. Medium. I'm going to give it 20 points. I'm actually going to give it 15. I think that's fair. One, overworld. I'm actually going to make this less than 32. I'm going to make this like 25. Overworld. Medium. 25. One, apparition, which is going to be medium, and this is going to be 55. And then we'll say, what is this, boss for Remnant 2? How do I have Remnant 2 spelled out? It is with a space, okay. Oh, motherfucker. Why am I asking that? I have no idea. Remnant 2, apparition, boss. This is going to be hard. Oops. Hard. How do you like your hard-boiled eggs? I'm saying the word hard. Do you like it? Do you like a hard-boiled eggs, oops. Soft-boiled or hard-boiled? I like mine soft-boiled. I'm not a big fan of like a over hard-boiled egg. I like them like when I squeeze it, it should be a little gooey on the inside. Like if you get ramen, like that's how I like my eggs, my hard-boiled egg, my soft-boiled eggs. I think you get that by doing like what 7 minutes in the water while boiling, and it's so delicious. You just get that like juicy egg. It's so good. Loving it. That's how I eat my eggs when I boil them. Excuse me. Hard boiled butthead. I meant to put hardcore. So this is hardcore. Hardcore. 350. I think if I remember correctly, I need commas at the end of all these, don't I? Yeah. Comma, chameleon. Except for that one. that should be the Terminator to let them know that the let us know that, let MySQL know that is the last table or last value we're going to add into our table. All right. Let's see. Let's see. So now we can run this. Starting slash bought is easy. It's 5 points. Puzzle, I can always alter it, but I just want to make sure I have this right. So puzzle is a medium. I have to change. I want to rename this. Hold on. Let's do. Is it update column? I think it's update column, isn't it? What the hell is this thing? Update column. Class to difficulty. Class. And this is actually the loop points. I think that's right. No. How do I update a class? Let's ask our best friend, GPT. How do I update a class? Update a class. Update a column in MySQL. Again, I don't remember. I thought it was update column, but I think I'm doing something wrong. I use ChatGPT for learning everything. I think it's a big change from Stack Overflow. I'm not sure what everyone's thoughts are. I mean, obviously, I'm not a newbie developer. I've always been interested in Python and programming in Python. I've done small programs when Stack Overflow was the big. I say update column. Yeah, when Stack Overflow was like the place to go. That's how I learned all my code. And it's great. It's still good to use when it's just like GPT's not answering my question correctly or I can't figure it out. Or I just need to talk to actual people. But now it's just I go to GPT and it's like boom, done. I'm like, oh, cool. Oh, how do I to update a column? I guess let me rename that. How do I rename a column in MySQL? That's what I should be asking, not updating a column. It's giving me the same thing I'm doing right now. I have to rename a column. I thought, is it not rename? I thought it was something like that, like rename or some shit like that. No. I thought I had it here too. I guess not. Oh, is it change? Old name, the new name? That's it? It's change. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Class, the difficulty class. Look at that. We can just go run it and define our loop points. Cool. Done. Alright, so now we can actually change this. Oh, wow, I don't even have this. So obtainability, so this is difficulty class. I think I need to refresh things. I don't know. Is not finding that? There we go. Okay. So now we have the game ID, the difficulty class, the obtainability, and the points. This would have failed because I didn't have the same amount of values that I was adding into the. I didn't have the same amount of columns, the same amount of values. This actually would have failed. So I think 5 points for easy. I might lower that to 2. Make it 3. Starting easy. Well, no, I said I was going to keep everything 5s and 10s. It's just easier. Starting is 5 points. Puzzle medium is 15. Overworld. Medium 25. Apparition medium 55. Boss hard 85. Hardcore is hardcore 350 points for Remnant 2. So let's go ahead and run this nonsense. Boom. Let's do a select statement on our loot points. There we go. Starting, puzzle, blah, blah, blah. And here's our game ID. So if we actually click on this, it brings it back to our supported games, which is very coll. So now we actually have a foreign key set up. So when we query against it and we say, when we want to say, all right, well, what game ID we're talking about, obviously this one we're only talking about Remnant 2. So I should have probably a game name ID in there, a game name in there, but it's fine. I could just add it later. It won't matter because I don't need a name because this will tie back to supported games. This will bring back the name. Cool. Now we insert that. Now I did this as well. So if I have to finish doing my weapons. That's gonna take the longest to do. That's gonna be the longest thing to create. Either I type it in manually in each row here. And I should have did this before I imported it, but I didn't think of it until now, as I was building everything. I'm like, oh, how am I gonna make these points work? So what I could do and cheat here a little bit is give a list of give some of my syntax to GPT and say, hey, follow this syntax for all these weapons that I have below, but it doesn't matter. I still have to turn around and give it this, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I have to do it. No shortcuts here. All right, so we'll get rid of these because we don't need. Well, actually, I'll just change the name. So we did Alpha Omega. Where did I leave off? So we left out Assassin's Dagger. That one's a boss. That one's a pain in the ass. Assassin's Dagger. Oh no, Assassin's Dagger is actually that's an overworld item, right? No, you have to beat those 3 jerks to get behind them. I don't remember. Bring the Assassin's Dagger found in one true King Chambers to Nimue. But I think you have to fight the 3 guys before you can actually do that, right? But I don't remember. Yeah, it's during the event. You don't have to fight one, but you have to get it while the event. Okay. Okay. So you have to do the quest to get this. So it's not a boss. It's not an apparition. It's a quest? Should we add in quest? Fuck. Update my freaking table now, the fucking quest. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, I'm thinking about adding in an update. We have to use update. I could just add it in, but I want to make sure I'm getting good at the syntax. I think it's update table. Just the update table name, and then what is it? So let's do this. Let's do this here. Let's update loop points. I think it's the column. Isn't it just the column? Isn't it like, oh, I have it up here. I'm being stupid. It's right here. Add column. Duh. Add column. Remnant to. I'm being dumb. It's alter table, not update table. Alter the table. Loop points. Add column. Wait, I want to update. Ooh, what am I doing? I'm having a brain fart. I want to add new value is what I want to do. Actually, I want to add new value. It's update. I think what I'm trying to do is update. I don't need to add a column. I need to add new values. I thought I had that. It's not insert to because... Where is it insert to? No, I don't want to do that. I want to add a new value. New row into... Yeah, I could just use this. I could just type in whatever I need to type in here to do it, but that's not fun. I don't remember how to do it. I thought I had it written here. I guess it'll just be... I think it's just an insert to. Oh, I'm gonna try that. Who the fuck cares? They'll yell at me if it's not right. Insert to. I'm gonna comment this out. And then we'll say... one... Quest medium. What should we make a quest point? 35. And I'll make apparition 45. Think. Oh, okay. There we go. I had to pee. Always peeing these days. That's what happens when you get old. Oh, what the hell? I was logged out of my GPT 612. What? Motherfucker. There we go. And restart this. How do I delete all the data and re-edit? So I would like this to go in between here. Actually. Quest. Oh wait, what was I thinking? Oh, 55 is fine. I meant 65 now. 45. Was it drop column change? I didn't delete something or some shit like that. Deleted. Deleted. I thought I had up here. It's not. Oh yeah, this is what this is. Delete from. Alright, so let's do this. So we're gonna do. That's right. So it's delete from table name, and it's going to be loop points. Yes. Okay. Now let's just run it again. Cool. And now let's run this again. What did I fuck up here? One apparition. Quest. What? Oh, common would help. Always missing that fucking comma. Always screws me up. Now we're golden. There we go. 15, 25, 35, 65, 85, 350. Now we have a quest item. Cool, 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 cool. Which will... Let me look at remnant weapons again. So now we look at Assassin's Dagger. Let's get rid of all these. We'll change this to Assassin's Dagger. The difficulty. I'm gonna have to do. I have to do it this way, don't I? To escape that. And this will be quest. Medium. And drop all this other shit. Didn't like that. When name. Yeah, I don't know how I escape. How I escape an apostrophe? Escape characters. I thought it was you double quote it. There's obviously an escape. An escape. Way to escape it. Why my frosty dot tool's not working? What? There we go. I don't know what the hell happened there. Or how the hell that came unmodded. Oh, that's weird. All my shit got disabled. That's what happened. Huh. Wait a minute. Wait, what? What do you mean early access? Oh, I have to be a benefactor to use this. They moved a bunch of stuff to early access. That stinks. Oh, whatever. So I have to do this. Oh, okay. Okay, can you explain why I have to do this? That's how that works? To escape, especially single quotes within strings, you need to use backslash or double up the single quotes. Oh, okay. You can escape single quotes by placing a backslash before the single quote. Gotcha. Using double single quotes, you can also escape. Okay. Example, let's assume you have 10 million weapons with a column name. Here's how you can insert a value. Okay, I gotcha. So it'll be like this, right? Same with the when. Same with the case clause. Oops, fucking forgot this here. Okay, look at that. Let's see what happens. Didn't like it. Nice. Sweet balls of fire. Oh, wait, let me do this. You can use case in an update. Use query. Oh, okay. But you don't put the brackets around it. Okay. The parentheses. It's just... Okay. Yes. Gotcha. Okay. So when you're doing a... Let's just question this. Oh, it's value. Oh, okay. I got confused. I got it. I get it. I was insert values versus... Okay. So if I was doing it here, it would have been, you know, this. And then this. And that's the reasons why it's in parentheses. Okay, gotcha. Because it's doing an insert to versus a case and if-then statement or a case statement. And you don't need to have those parentheses there. You just need to have the backslash to escape this character. Understood. Got it. See, reading is fundamental. And now I know how to escape characters inside of MySQL. Yay! So now let's select this bitch right here. I mean, not that one. This one. Cool. I nulled everything else out, but whatever. I just want to see if it's going to work. Nice! I'll just undo it all and put it back. Alright, let's... Shit, I didn't realize I was going to do that. I nulled everything else out. Damn it. Give me back all my stuff. Okay. Does it matter? I can just put this at the end, right? It's not going to matter. This is not starting bullet. This is quest. And then obtainability is going to be medium. Cool. Yep. Update. Boom. And select that bitch. And there we go. Starting boss, quest, medium. Nice. Nice. Alright, cool. Only have, 93 more to do. It's gonna be a while. I might do that off stream because that's just a pain in the ass to do. On stream, let's move along. Let's get the add loot command created for my thing. But I think I need to take a quick break because I have to run to the restroom. So I will be right back, and we'll get the add loot command created inside my bot, so we can start adding loot to our Actually, I'm lying. We'll have to break. I will come back and I need to add in I have to create a new table for player loot. Is what I need to do. That'll tie back to supported games. So, okay. Alright, so that's the next step. And we'll create a new table. I'll just start this here. Create player loot platter. Player loot table. Create table. If not exists, player loot. And we'll start from there. Be right back, everyone. I gotta run to the restroom. I guess it's helping in a way. Shit. Oh man, this dude's like, he's like a few shots to death. Yes! Got him. We got him. You try. Bad guy! Oh, I'm sorry. I feel so bad. Holy, I killed you. I didn't mean to kill you. You were walking and I shot. I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus. I didn't even see that. Look like a fucking box. Oh, I'm bad at this game. Fucking balls! Oh! I hit pretty hard with this build, but I don't know how well it's gonna do against bosses. I always look up when I go into buildings or new rooms. This is when things jump on you and they eat you. Whoa, Jesus! Should watch out for corners too. Has effect of you smell like shit. That would have been a funny stats effect. And then bosses don't attack you anymore. It's like, oh my god, you smell like a sewer. Ah! That was fun. That's a little fucking broken, honestly. That was just luck right there. I didn't do anything spectacular. I just swung my sword and hit the freaking snake. I don't know where I clipped that, so I'm just gonna clip it twice because sometimes it's ridiculous with clipping. All right, we are back. We are back. Such a good pee. It was such a good pee. All right, so what does my table need for loot? I have a structure here. What does my table need for a loot? I think I have to capture the player profile ID, the game IDs. There's a lot of foreign keys are happening in this one, that's for sure. If I remember correctly. So, player loot. The player loot table is going to have a bunch of different things here. They're going to be the things I need to make the player loot work correctly. Oh, my nose is killing me. I have loot points, remnant weapons. Where the hell's my loot point table I was going to make? No, it's not, I mean, not loot points. It's a player loot table I need to make. Oh, here it is. It's going to be... Okay, so table name is going to be player loot. And of course, we're going to have an ID, which is an int, which is going to be auto increment. And it's going to be our primary key. And then we're going to have the game ID, which is an int. And then we're going to have the player ID, which is also an integer. We'll have the item ID, which is also an integer. We'll have the item type, which is going to be a variable character. I put commas after all this nonsense. I know. Var char 255. And then it's going to be the item name. Item name is also var char. I'm just thinking about how I'm going to have the player add in loot to the actual thing. And then it'll be points. This will be an int. So comma, 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 comma. And then I have to define my foreign keys here. So foreign key is going to be game game, come on. And it's going to reference it, references, I don't think I spelled that right, references the supported games ID. And then I also have a foreign key. Why the fuck is there item ID in here? Was I making that a reference back to the weapon table? I think I want to. Because then it will only be able to reference the... I'm trying to think of data of integrity here too. So I only want this to be... So add weapon, you'll only be able to choose the supported games. You'll choose the game you want. Okay, you choose one. Alright, it's going to add to remnant 2. Then it's going to say, alright, what weapon, alright, what item type do you want to add? You can then choose for Remnant 2, long gun, handgun, melee weapon. Those are 3 options you get. Then, if you do a query, okay, you're going to choose long gun. That should pop up saying, alright, what long gun do you want to add? And then you can choose the long gun you want to add, either by name or the number that pops up. The numbers that are there. You can peruse through them and type in a number and hit enter. And then it will do a update to that table, or an append to that table, and add in your an update to your profile to add in the newest criteria. Foreign key. Foreign key is player ID. And it references the player profile ID. And then my other foreign key, let's just copy this. The other thing is going to be item ID. And that's going to reference the weapon ID. I'm sure I did that right. Player profile. Player underscore ID. Spell it's right. Yes, player profile. Oh, player ID. Oh, player profile. Oh no, it should be this. That should all now work. So player loot, integer game ID is an integer, player ID is an integer, item ID. These are my 3 foreign keys, so I can make sure that the item gets correctly added to a specific game with a specific item to the specific player. Then I have the item type, which is going to pull back, which they're going to type in. Actually, I'm trying to think here. Debating this. So I want to fetch the game ID, then fetch the loot item based on the game and item type, in this case a weapon. The command fetches the loot item from the appropriate table, right? Fetch the points, the class, and obtain the ability, add the loot. So, right. If I make this a foreign key, so item type, item name. I think because we're working with bots inside of Discord, it makes more sense for me to display what item number you want to add versus the actual item name you want to add, because there's more to type in. It's not a point and click thing. I don't think I can have them. I could use reactions. I could use a emoji for them to react to it, but that's a little above my knowledge in that. So I'd have to learn how to do that. I don't want GPT just to code it for me, because then I'm not learning. So that could be like an addition where each item will have a react button, and if you want to add that to your loot, you click it and it adds it to the command or something. I don't know. That's advanced, more advanced than I want to deal with right now. But anyway, keeping it simple right now, they're going to type in the /add loot, the game ID number they want to add their loot to, their item ID number they want to add that loot to. So, excuse me. So /add loot, game, weapon. Then when it says, okay, you want to add a weapon to your profile, then it should pop up saying, here are the IDs that you can choose from. Weapon IDs. What weapon type? Linked back to, okay, I'm saying, so let's just write this down here just so I can do this. So it's going to be /add loot, game, weapon, and then it'll be weapon type. They have to type in. Then it's going to be weapon name or weapon ID. Or weapon ID. And then that will add in, and based on the weapon type and weapon name and the Then based on that, once it gets added to that player loot table, it's going to look back at the Yep, it's going to look back at the actual loot point table because it's going to query that weapon and the type of point that it can get back to, and then add that loot back to the player. Add that loot point back to the player. This is very pain in the ass to figure out. Alright, I think we're good. Okay. Excuse me. I think that's what we can do, if I are not mistaken. So the first thing I need to do is run this nonsense. Let's create this table. Son of a balls. What are you bitching about? Create table. Item type. Point. Yeah, a comma. I hate the horrendous error message that you get from this nonsense. So details. So you have an error in your SQL syntax. Okay. Caused by Java SQL. Check the manual that corresponds to your MySQL version for right syntax near varchar 255. Item name varchar 255. What isn't like about varchar? Oh, I didn't close the parentheses? Is that what happened? I don't... No, I did that right. Oh. Oh. I don't know what the hell I was thinking here. I think I was thinking of Pythons when you're actually building your table in your class. You're building your class your table structure as a class, and inside Python you create your table, and when you call it as a string, you're doing... I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I was thinking about doing this. This is what Python looks like for when you're defining your tables inside of SQL Alchemy inside your Python code. It's weapon type. It's a column, string, which is a varchar, and it's 255. So I guess I was thinking about doing this, and I just think I could, yeah. Okay. Run this now. Ah, shit. You know what's gonna happen? It's not gonna let me run. You know why? Because I have the bot running. Ah. Failed to open reference tabled weapon. Oh no. What? Oh. Did I break my freaking tables? No. What the hell are you talking about? References. Oh. Remnant weapons. Supported games ID? Is that what it is? Hold on. Yes, ID. So this would actually be... I think this is just weapon ID then, right? Yeah, weapon underscore ID. So this would go back to remnant, and two weapons, weapon ID. Now let's run this. Boom! Just like that, it works. Now I can just do it right here. Select. Game ID, player ID, item ID, item type, item name, points. It's bitching because it's like, I don't know what that is. So we just gotta refresh it really quick and then do player loot again. Done. And there's our new table. Now this will only work when This table will only be populated, and each person is going to have multiple list. Each person, I say each person, like I'm gonna make this like a massive bot. But whoever uses this, when I was live on my Discord for any game where I build it for, is once they add it and use add loot, they'll be able to add it to to this table, and you'll have multiple entries tied back to each game. And then my goal will be to, for every point that you add, it's going to calculate all your total points. So, so if you have, you have times 2 of these, times, 1 of these, and then, I don't know, 3 of these, and 1 of these. And then it would be, we'd have to give 2 times 2 is 4 plus 3 plus, oh my gosh, what's 3 times 3? 9. So 4 plus 9 plus 1, so you have 14 points. What I want to do, and I wonder if it's possible to do, is to get like a cool icon created, and up in my Discord as I'm doing it, if I can actually change this here, like you look over yourself and give like a Discord presence of showing you how many points you actually have. Something over here or something like that. How many points you have, like your loot profile. I don't know if that's possible. I have no idea what we can do with that, but it would be pretty dope if we can or can't. So I don't know. See how that works. Yeah, enumerate's great. Actually, I love enumerate. So, what was I saying? Cat, what are you doing? Alright, just get rid of that now, and then what was I doing? Alright, so I'm building that. Excuse me. Alright, let's start working on the add button. I start looking at the add command now. So the add command is going to work. This one's going to be a little tricky because this is going to be a little above, I think, my understanding. So let's just I don't know why it said hi. Interesting. Was it because it said hit? Does hit make it say hi? Hit. Oh yeah, because it has the letters H-I in it. Okay, that makes sense. So it's like hit hi. Okay. All right. So. Alright, so let's do, okay. Let's create this add loot button thing. I thought I had that started at least. Maybe I didn't. Oh, you know, I just realized. Why it does? I like Wavelength, but it's just a pain in the ass sometimes. Sometimes when you mute your mic and then unmute your mic, your VSTs don't enable again. Don't know why. It's kind of annoying, actually. All right, let's fix. So I'm sorry if you heard all my typing and nonsense, but yeah, you're not supposed to hear that. So now, I'm gonna put this. So now, all my code. Remit to mail. These are all my different commands. So now we're gonna do this here. We're gonna do this like right here, and it's gonna be the same thing at bot dot slash, and there's gonna be name equals add loot. My description is gonna be add loot to your profile and collect and gather points, gain points. I don't know, change that around, doesn't matter. And then we'll do an async, define our command, which is going to be add loot. Going to be the context is going to be Discord, the application dot context. And I think for this, I have to take the string of the item type and the item name, right? Because that's what the user's gonna end up typing in. Think. I don't know. What's next? I'm debating on how to make this work now. I need to reevaluate this code because I did. Do this. I'm gonna say I able to include the item ID in the player loot table as a foreign key to the weapon ID. So then the user has the option to do the following. Add loot, game, right? Weapon is going to be what we type in next. Then Discord asks for the weapon type. Weapon, and then the next one will be weapon type. Weapon type. Based on this answer, the filter, the items, the weapons will be filtered, and the user can select from the items in the embedded message item number or the weapon name. Weapon ID. That's what I want to do. So it will do. It's gonna be this. Oh, fucker. Shit. It can be slash add loot. And then it'll be game. They choose 1. Then weapon. Then let's go, okay, the next parameter is weapon type. And then that's when the user will type, and then Discord will go, okay, here's an embed message. Then the embed message is going to have all the selections. So you can select based on all selections, based on the weapon type. Then the user can then select filtered weapon type. And they choose 5. Filtered weapon type. Choose filtered weapon type by ID or choose filter weapon type by name. Iron greatsword. That's how this will work. Long gun. Handgun. Or melee. And selections are based on the weapon type. Choose filtered weapon type by ID. Hi, Luna, you little bamboona. What are you doing? You being a singing girl? Or weapon type, or filtered weapon type by name. So, what I have to do here is actually build my freaking table first. So let's do that. Or actually build my stand, because I need to build my table first. Let's go all the way up here. We'll build a new table right here. We'll do class. Player loot base. And then it's gonna be table name, player loot, player ID. And it's gonna be a column. It's gonna be an integer, and it's going to be. No, that's not true. Name, do I have, what's the, I think it's just ID, isn't it? Let me ask Kitty. Yeah, ID. So I should name this loot ID. Now I'm thinking about this. Let's change that. Actually, go to my table. Didn't I just do this? Oh, I wish I could remember friggin' syntax better. Oh yeah, that's right. Alter player loot. Well, I'm not showing this screen right now. I guess I can flip and flop back and forth. Alter player loot. Change ID to loot ID. The loot ID. This will be int. And now that should be good. Be up here. Select statement. Cool. We are freaking flying. Uh-oh. I didn't make it a primary key though. I've just changed it to an integer, but I didn't make it a primary key. Oh, I think I just do this, right? Is it alter table? Definitely alter table. Player loot. Change the loot. I don't remember now. Where is this? Player loot. Oh, modify. Modify loot. Okay, gotcha. You're changing the... Okay. Multiple primary key. Oh, wait. Is this already defined as a primary key still? It sure as hell didn't look like it. Oh, it is a primary key. Let's just take a look at our table here. Player loot. Loot ID, primary. Cool. Alright. Oh, what the hell is my problem? I thought I dropped it as a primary key. Alright, fine. Cool. Well, I know how to do that. Copy this. And put that there too. Now I can actually know how to modify my different things. Alright. Now let's go back to my visual code. That wasn't it. Yeah, it is. Where the hell is it? Why is it not showing up? Why are you being insipid? Why are you breaking? Hello? There it is. That was weird. Alright. So now I'll come back here and we're actually going to do loot ID is equal to column integer and make this our primary key equals true. And then this is going to be integer foreign key, and it's going to be player profile player ID. And then we're going to have actually our game ID. Right now, what I have to do right now is actually build my tables inside Python. I'm using a module called SQL Alchemy. Inside of SQL Alchemy, inside using the module SQL Alchemy, I make a database connection or database engine that allows you to access my backend database. But for Python to work correctly, I have to define all my tables inside the code so it knows what it's going to look at. So it can easily go back, grab everything here, look at all the table structure here, and then make a query back to that table using all the different table names inside my code that I have created inside my Python code. It can look at the tables that are really just variables holding certain type of data type information. That then as it queries back the information to the SQL database, it looks at the variable, sees that it's a column, it's an integer, it's a foreign key, a primary key, finds it, matches it, pulls that data through. And now I can actually see all the data connected to each other. So that's what I'm doing here. I have to define all these tables inside Python so Python knows how to actually use the data I want to query on. Otherwise, just be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, this is great. You want me to query this table, but because I don't have any table names stored inside this application that I'm building, Python's not going to know how to access it. So Python needs a way of talking to SQL. And by doing that, we're creating a class, which is really just a blueprint for our tables. And the class is saying, hey, I need you to go ahead and look back at, where the hell is it? The declarative base, which is all this connecting back to the database, which makes that session. And if that all works, then look at these tables underneath here. If those tables exist and you're querying whatever table I'm querying, bring back that data. Is probably the best way I can explain it. I don't know if I explained that well. I've never really explained it out loud, but if anyone's out there and wants to correct me, please correct me. I'm learning. So I will gladly take feedback. So now we gotta do a column for our game ID. This is also going to be an integer, and this is also going to be a foreign key, and this is going to tie back to our game, our supported games table, and that's going to be ID. I should probably change that to game ID as well, but we'll do that later. Then we'll do, actually, since I'm here, I might as well do it really quick. Let's just look this up. It's quick enough to do. Modify. Let's do change ID. Player loot. We'll do support games. Actually, I'm going to update log code if I do that. We'll change that at a later date and time. It's an easy fix, but I don't want to fix it now. But we'll do it. I change ID to game underscore ID, just so I have it. Change it. All right. So now ID, and then I have item type. No, item ID. Item underscore ID is assigned to a column, which is an integer, which is also a foreign key, which is going to be assigned to the weapon remnant2.weapons.weapon I underscore. But it didn't like that, so it's remnant2 weapon is the actual class name. So now I just need the item type, which is going to be a column as well. But this is going to be different because now this is going to be a string, also known as a varchar, string variable character. Inside SQL, a string is a variable character. Inside Python, it's a string, and it's still 255 characters. Same thing with this. It's going to be item underscore name. It's going to be a equals column string, or which is a variable character. And then we have our points column, which is going to be points column integer, and that's it. Now we have our class created for our player loot table. So, and that's how we do it. We're creating a class. We're saying the table name is player loot, and these are all the columns that should be underneath the table player loot. So if something's spelt wrong, something like that, when it looks back at our class that we call with all this information underneath it, and making a query back to our table, like if we what's on my, I guess the create profile. So here we're looking back, query the player profile table, filter the player profile table by the Discord ID, and the string is the CTX author ID, and give me the first one selected. And that's how that query works. But you need that class created so Python knows what to look at and what the table name is and what columns actually exist there, so it can query the table correctly. Otherwise, it's not going to know how to do it. So there's a lot of code to make happen, but it's very useful at the end, because now I have a little Python program that can talk between Discord and my database and make things, store things indefinitely that I need, which will allow me to have sessions between each other, save all my users' information. Even if the bot was to get disconnected for whatever reason, I lose power because I'm hosting it locally right now on my PC. So if I lose power and it comes back up, it's like, oh, instead of holding it inside a list that will be a variable, that as soon as I lose power, that's it. Those points are gone. I now have it in a database that will always be there for those users to have. So their points are always persistent. So where was the freaking thing I was building? Oh, here we go, add loot. So now we have to add our loot. And this is going to be... I think I have to build some different. So now things explained to me. I asked GPT how do I, I made some different things in here. So we're making a slash command add loot. Validation, check that the game provided by the user supported by query to support a game table. Obviously, we want to do that. Fetching loot items based on the item type provided, e.g. weapon. Fetch according to spawning items from the remnant to table. Use a select menu to display the valuable weapons to the user for selection. So what it looks like I have to do is I have to build a new class called Weapon Select View, which will allow me to. Okay, I see what this is gonna do. This is gonna allow the user to, once they do /add loot, choose the game, then say I want to select a weapon. It's then going to pop up saying, okay, well, what weapon do you want? You can select by the name, or you can select by the ID. Based on that, it will loop through all those selections and give until it reaches the end of what ones you can do, and then we'll make another we'll make another query back to our database, my database, that will then allow the user to select a weapon that will have select the weapon that they want that will add it to that new player loot. So all right, so I have to figure out how to do this. Like, it gives me some template stuff, but I have to figure out the rest. So all right, it's gonna be tricky. Okay, where the hell is I doing this? So I want to do this underneath my tables, underneath my table. So underneath my table, underneath the player loot, we'll make a new class. Okay, we'll say weapon. I try to use GPT as, like, if I'm following a tutorial, like, if you're going through, like, automate the boring stuff or something like that. That's why I try to use GPT. Like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. Is I want you to follow through and blah 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 blah. Select a view. Obviously, the parameter is gonna be a view. I have to initialize it, so it's gonna be, this is an actual class, or this isn't a table. We're actually building an actual class inside of, kind of like I did here for Pagnator. I built an actual class inside of my code, which allows me to, when when I'm actually using my different commands. Like this. That's what these are. This is Pagnator, or Pagnation right here. It allows me to display a certain amount of weapons per page and actually have the users click through page. So I can do rem to, melee weapons, and I don't think I have the bot running, but it will then pop up with this, like, to be here, and then you can click through each one. And I'll go through page by page by page by page. Yeah, I don't have the bot running, obviously. So cool. All right, so let's see. All right, let me do this off. Go back here. Oops. Define int. Whoa, what the hell? That's not what I want. Huh. Now I have to create the self. I need the context. I'm going to need the weapon options, I think. And I probably want to say the game. What game is going to be available for this? The item type and the item type. Right? I think. And then I don't know what super means. What does this mean? Super. What does this mean? What does this mean? What the fuck? Super? I don't know what this means. Explain this to me. What does super mean? Super dot initialize timeout? I mean, I understand that we're initializing it. So the code here, this right here, is super. Yeah, I'm right. I wrote it there too. And I don't know what the fuck it stands for. Dot initialize timeout is 60. So that means this view that we're building that's going to pop up has 60 seconds. I might change it and make it 100, make it 120 actually. Just so it lasts longer. Super, this function returns a temporary object as superclass parent class that allows you to call its methods. So initialization, timeout. This calls initiate method of the parent class, passing timeout as an argument. Gotcha. So super, this line calls initialize method of the parent class of view, which is what we created here. And then this, it passes the timeout argument as an argument to initialize a method of view, which was again this. YU super cold reusability allows you to reuse a parent class method without rewriting them. I gotcha. So you could actually do this with, you could actually drop super, oops, and just call it view. But then you'd have to write view initialization self timeout. I see. You'd have to do view dot underscore self timeout equals 60. And you'd have to do that for every single piece of code class you're going to write, where if you just use the super method, it allows you to easily just reuse the parents class without rewriting them. I gotcha. So it's just easier reusability and maintainability. That makes sense. Okay. Now we're going to call the self, is, you know, the class, and the context, which is going to be equal to whatever the context is typed in. Then self, when the weapon options is going to be assigned to the weapon options, which will be the variable of whatever that user types in. Then the self.game is going to be whatever the game is, going to be whatever the user chooses. And these is just kind of like variables that we're passing, or parameters. So when the user types in /add weapon or add loot, it's going to pop up, okay, cool. What the context, you know, what, and inside that context, what game, what weapon options, and what item type do you want? And it'll be able to grab all that. Okay. And then this is just going to be self.item type. Not add item. Item type. Item type equals item type. Come on, man, work with me. This is just saying, you know, whatever. This is just stipulating the parameters and the CTX. Yeah, anyway, sorry. This is just initializing our parameters and setting up what we're going to be allowed to take in from the user as we're setting them. So obviously we have to set the context, and that the context is going to be a command that we're going to set up from Discord. The weapon options, which are going to be the specific weapons that the user can choose. and then the game that the user can choose, and then the item type underneath the weapon options the user will be able to choose. Yes, Katie, you have food, you have water, you were scooped, you're loved. What's the matter, Kitty? Oh, here comes the doggy. Hey, cat, knock it off. Fresh. All right, so we have our weapon view selected, but now we have to do, I think, a select statement. All right, sorry. My girlfriend is texting me about something. All right. So, looking at this, I'm just trying to understand this. I just don't want to start typing without understanding. So, give me a minute while I ask them. I asked this to be explained to me like a fifth grader. Please explain. Let's show you how I use GPT to learn how to code. Because this is what I do. Because I don't like just copying and pasting or just fucking typing shit without understanding shit. Because then what the fuck's the point? So, we'll change this to... Oh, so I can grab it like that? Alright, cool. Whatever. Be a bitch. Let's do display capture. There we go. Well, it's really big. Holy shit. Okay. So I'm looking at this code and I don't really understand this code right here that's happening. So I understand all this. There's this code that's happening on after we create the select the class for weapon select view. Like I don't like select the placeholder options. I think I understand. We're creating a placeholder for select a weapon, and then we're doing a query is what's happening. I think. So, but I just want to have it explain this whole code for me. So please explain this code to me as if I was a fifth grader. Because that's how my brain works. And then it takes all that code and literally breaks it down like a 5th grader. So sure, let's break it down. So select menu. Imagine you're making a list of choices when you select to pick a weapon. Placeholder the text. Okay. But is this querying my database? Oh, no. This is actually using Discord's built-in select option. Cool. For a weapon and weapon options, then you're just doing list comprehension. Okay. Then the callback function, when you equip a weapon, when you pick a weapon, a special function called a callback will run. This function's named weapon select callback. This is like adding a list of choices to your Discord message. You can actually use it. Oh, this is what we were just talking about yesterday, just a few moments ago. It was like, if you can actually use your message, select a certain button. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I told you to be well out of my scope of like knowledge, and now we're learning it. All right. So, all right, that's cool. So let's get this in. I'm actually excited for this. So let's go through this. So we're making a select. We're making a placeholder for this. Then what happens when you pick a weapon? Callback function. This special function runs when you pick a weapon. Selected ID. The number finds out the computer finds out which weapon you picked by looking at its ID, like its unique name. Finding the weapon, it then searches through the list of weapons to find the one that matches the ID you picked. Checking how many points the weapon is worth. Now we're going to do a points entry. So now it's going to actually do a query against our loot points table to filter by the game ID, to find the selected weapon, the weapon type, to find the weapon, the obtainability. Normal is not a thing that we need to use, but okay. And find the first value, I guess. I don't think it's the first value, but it probably explains it in here. Let's just have it explained first really quick. I remember what I use it in Python. I use it in Python. I use it in Pandas. I'm doing stuff like this. I just say, hey, give me the first. You could have duplicates. You first just give me the first. Try block. This is tells you to try to do something, and if it fails, it will handle the error. Checking points. The computer looks in the special table to see how many points your weapon is worth. Game ID. Which game is the weapon from? What type or class of the weapon? Obtainability. D4 is normal if not specified. Oh, right. We're using the get. We're using the get method. So obtainability. And if there is nothing marked there as like easy, hard, whatever, it'll just say normal. That's right. Okay. Duh. Get method. Obtainability points. If it finds the points, that uses that number. If it doesn't, it sets the points to 0. Gotcha. Adding the weapon to your profile. Now we're doing a profile update. Session query, player profile. It will filter on the player profile by the context creator's author ID, and grab the first record. If no player profile exists, send a message saying you need to create a profile using create profile. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So cool. So I think we got this. Now I understand what's actually happening. So now I feel more comfortable just typing the code in. I don't want to just fucking type code it and not understand what the hell I'm doing. I think that's the worst thing you can do. I love AI. I think AI is great, and you can get anything from AI. But if you're really just going to copy and paste what it's going to write you and not understand it, you're doing yourself an injustice. I think it's very important. Yes, we have AI that makes things very easy. Even when you go into Stack Overflow, if you just copy and paste the code into your code and you understand what that code was doing, you're not doing yourself any justice. Understanding is like comprehension is so important. Yes, AI is great. It really simplifies all the coding for us. Like this is the full code of everything I have written, but everything that I've put together on here, I can explain it back because I've taken the time out, literally in all my things back to GPT was, please explain this to me as if I was a fifth grader. Please explain this to me as if I was a fifth grader. And as you can see, it really breaks it down for you because sometimes coding logic just doesn't wrap my brain correctly. I'm like, wait, what does this fucking thing mean to me? I don't understand what the hell it's saying to me. And so when I do that, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like even up here, I just explain this to me. So I had to just explain. I like using it to really break things down. So when I'm actually typing in the code, I don't like copying and pasting the code. I like typing in the code because then it's like, you know, it's like taking notes. You're writing your notes on paper with your own hand and your own writing, and it just kind of registers in your brain better. And the same thing with coding. You actually have to do it. Copying and pasting is not going to get you anywhere with coding. So then it'll just make you a better coder too, because then you can find the commas that you're missing. You can understand the areas that's actually happening. You can understand when to put a print statement to debug your code if something's not working correctly. So it just makes you a better coder. Even the age of AI. I mean, AI is great, but there are times I've actually had to correct AI when it provided me Python code. I'm like, no. I think we need to try doing this one. It's, oh right, you're correct. So it's just very, very nice to have and understand and be able to just like get out code really fast. But I 100% recommend that, you know, you actually learn, understand what's being provided to you, so you become a better either programmer or anything from it. I think thing's still generating actually. No, it's not. I think GPT just hung up on me. All right. Scroll up and let's go through this again. So it's right after our weapon select. So it's actually inside our class. We're making this huge class for weapon select. Wow. Okay. Now that makes complete sense. So weapon select view, we actually start underneath this. We make our statement. We make our select statement. So select is assigned to our select placeholder, which is assigned to select a weapon. And then we can then say underneath the placeholder, no, wait a minute. I'm going to find it. So this is weird. So select, right? Oh. I don't have to do that yet. Okay. There we go. Now we do options. Okay, so no, we're not closing our parentheses there yet. So options is going to be and then we have to create our list. It's going to be Discord dot options. Oh no, select option. Select option. What does that do? Let's just read what this does. So these can be created by users. The label, the option, this is displayed. The value of the option, this is not displayed to users. If not provided when constructed, then defaults to the label. Oh. Okay. Represents a Discord select menu. Gotcha. Select option. Let me just see how this works. Label equals F string, and it's going to say the weapon. We're going to pull from the weapon and get the name. What the fuck? And then we'll do the ID. Did not work the way I wanted to. I fucked up somewhere. The ID is going to be the weapon. And then the weapon ID. Okay. And then the value is going to be the string of the weapon. Oh, we're converting it to a string. Then we're taking, okay, so we close. What did I do here? Oh, that's because I did this. I did something weird here. I'm not sure what the fuck I did here. Oh. Oh yeah, no, that's right. And then we do value. Convert this to a string. It's gonna be the weapon. And then the weapon ID. Then close these all. Something's wacky here. I need to do something right. Look at this. The select label equals F. A weapon. Name. All right. The weapon's not defined yet. Oh, you know why? Oh, you know why? You know what? I'll tell you right now. This is building our list comprehension. So now I need to build a for loop. I will say for weapon and weapon options, which will be okay. All right. So underneath this, we can do for weapon and weapon options. If I spelled weapon correctly up here. Now our weapon options, close this down, and this would go back to select. Yep. That goes back to our select statement. And now we'll make our callback. So underneath this, we'll say select dot callback equals self dot weapon. Nope. Select underscore callback. And then we can say self dot add item and the select again. But still, this isn't being defined somewhere. What did I do wrong? Is there a select somewhere else in here? I will call that later. See it. Let me just read this stuff again. So validation, fetching bot, select menu. Use a select menu to display the valuable weapons used for selection. Weapon select view. A view that handles the user selection and adds the selected weapon to the player's profile along with the corresponding points. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. So select menu. Imagine you're making a list of choices when you pick a weapon. Placeholder. Right, but where is this? I see placeholder, but select is assigned to select placeholder, select weapon. Options is Discord select option, the label, which is the weapon name, and the ID of the weapon name. And then we're converting the string into, or we're converting the value into a string for the weapon ID. Do I have something right somewhere? Maybe inside the actual weapon view, I'm supposed to have the big select. Weapon select view. View, self, CTX, options, game, item type, self, blah blah blah. Oh, so everything's right. All right, let's start the async here. So the async will be right in here. So async, we're going to define our weapon select callback now. This is going to be called weapon select callback self and interaction. There we go. Spelling is difficult. We could say the selected underscore weapon ID is assigned to interaction data. Change this to an integer. Interaction dot data. The values and start at 0, I guess, or grab the first the first index is what it's saying. Then we can say selected weapon. Then we'll say selected weapon. Make a new variable, selected weapon. Is assigned to next underscore weapon for weapon in self dot weapon options. And then we're going to say if the weapon and the weapon options. The weapon ID? Is this the weapon ID or weapon name? The weapon ID selected weapon ID. So weapon ID is equal to, this is just like basic filtering. Is equal to the selected weapon ID. But why didn't that go off? Selected weapon. Self options. All right, so it's probably called somewhere else, I guess. Now, inside this function here, we're gonna do try. Try and accept are very important. We can try doing this. If it fails, give me an error. Points.entry equals or assigned to dot query loot points dot points. And then we could say dot filter by. Coding's fun. I really recommend anyone just like, if you have an into coding, like just start coding. I've been trying to learn coding for a while. I used a lot of before GPT, I used lots of Stack Overflow, I used lots of books, I used lots of different things. I made basic bullshit thing. I just couldn't grasp my head around it. And then, the first version of GPT was released to, I guess, fully released to the public. And that's how I really started learning. And like I showed you, explain to me like a 5th grade. I've been doing that for a long time, and it really helps. It's really, really helpful. It's one of my favorite ways to learn how to code. .game.id, comma. Class is going to equal the selected weapon. Now I'm doing underscore class because, as you noticed before, we have a Python object called class. We can't use the word class because if we do, it's going to be a conflict. So that's why you add the underscore to it. So it allows us to use the word class and assign a variable to it. But if we did this, it's going to bomb out. But like, whoa, we can't. That's not how you use class. So equals selected. Oops. Equals selected weapon, and then we got get. Now we're using .get the obtainability. Obtain ability from the tables here. Can't find anything. It's just gonna be normal. And then we'll close this off here. Dot. God. Like something's wrong. Contain ability. I screwed something up here. Loop points. It's not loop points. I have it named differently. Oh, I never built the freaking loop point table on my freaking God damn it. So we'll do class loot point base. Oh, table name. Is it loot points? I think it is, right? Yeah, loot points. It's in there. Let's just bring this up here so I can build this correctly. Select. Everything that's in there. So we have table loop points, and then we have. I should name this a loot ID. Hold on. I thought I changed it to loot ID. Didn't I? Oh. There we go. Alright, cool. So loot points. So now this can be loot ID, the integer, and it's going to be the primary key. So that's easy. And then we have the game ID, which is going to be a column and an integer. And it's going to be a foreign key, which means it's related to another key. This is all a relational database, and this is going to be the supported game.id. Then we have the difficulty class. Difficulty class equals the column, or assigned to a column. I always say equals, but it's actually assigned. This doesn't equal something. This is assigned to something. This is like, you know, when I say, you know, x equals 3, it's actually x is assigned to 3. And then y is assigned to 4, and then, you know, z equals, you know, whatever the hell you're doing, or x actually would be x plus y equals 7. That's what, you know. I always got confused when they said, well, x equals 3. I'm like, how does x equal 3? Well, once I started doing coding and GPT explained this to me better, I was like, well, x is assigned to 3. They never explained to me x is assigned to 3. Once I said assigned, my brain was like, oh, well, that makes more sense. X never actually equal 3. I mean, I technically can equal 3. There's a value inside of x, because the value of x is 3, but it just makes sense. It's assigned to 3. So difficulty class is actually assigned to column, and that column is a string of 255 characters. And then this was obtainability. Obtain ability. I don't think I'm spelling ability. Again, assigned to the column of a string that is 255 characters long. And the last column we have is points, which is assigned to a column that is just an integer. And now we have our loot points. And now we come back down here and won't budgets anymore. Now we actually have it's called a table called. We actually have a class called loot points. Has the blueprint structure of our actual loot points table, and now Python knows what to do with it. So now we're going to say loot points data values start at 0, and then we're saying try. Okay, this is where we are. So we'll get the game. So I need this. So this is where we are. Loop points, game ID, self. Okay, class first. Class. Wait, why the fuck did I do that? Get weapon. Used what I did here. Oh no, I'm right. And then points. And then, oops. But because we have to make a, what is this, an if statement here? think, inside of this area. Yeah, we could do if points entry else 0. Meaning if nothing else, assign the points to 0. If it can't find any points, assign the points to 0. Means we don't have anything to sign. It means we don't have anything to sign in the database if we sign 0. So that's fine. Now we're gonna add this to the player profile. So we'll put this here. Add points to player profile. I have to comment all this fucking code. I should have been doing that. Now I'm gonna say the player no, this has to be underscore. This is a variable. Oh, look at that. The player profile session.query player profile filter by player ID interaction. No, I mean this is all right up until here. Let's type it out. Player underscore profile. This is part of the black AI or whatever the hell it's called I have installed. Pretty decent. Like I actually can finish some code for you, but I'd rather just type it out. Session.query is the player profile. Son of a bitch. Come on, god damn. Filter. Then we gotta filter by the player profile.discord ID. And then we want to set this, and then the player discord ID needs to equal the self of the context. Oh wait, hold on. This will be converted to a string though. So this has to be equals the string of the weapon selection view of the CTX author, the context of the command, the author .id, and then the very first record. The first result of this query, so the first record. Okay, now that's it. Now we can say if there's nothing, if a player profile doesn't exist, we can say if not player profile, right? We then can turn away and say await again the weapon select view class. You're going to use the context of the message, the send message, and tell the user you need to create a profile first using / create profile. And then return nothing. Actually, I'm not sure if return none, but usually when you return nothing, it's defaulting to none. Now this is where the player loot's gonna come into play. So right after this, it's gonna be new loot. New loot is assigned to player loot. That'll be the player ID assigned to the player profile dot player ID, and then the game ID, which is assigned to the weapon view dot game ID, which is then assigned to the item ID, which is then. So I'm just realizing that self is when we type in self, that's actually the freaking class we're calling. But hold on, let me just ask GPT this. In a class, when we say self, this is the actual class you are calling when building your structure within your class and using within your class. I think I just clicked with classes because self was really confusing. Like, what the fuck does self mean? But now I'm realizing self is the actual freaking class name, the actual class. Exactly. In Python, when you define a class, you often see the self parameter and methods. Here's what self does. Self. This is a reference to the instance of the class. It is used to access variables and methods that belong to a class. I gotcha. And now that makes complete fucking sense of why I'm typing self so many times. Because you're calling that instance, we're calling this instance over and over again of this. So instead of typing in weapon select view, we're just saying self, which is this. Wow. I had an epiphany. Like self.owner, if you're doing like a bank account, define, initialize the bank account, self owner balance. The owner is assigned to the owner, the balance is assigned to the balance. Deposit could be the balance plus the amount that you're putting in there. So whatever the balance is, if it's 50, you add another 50 to it, it's $100. And then you have the account, it equals the bank account, Alice, which is 100. Then you're saying creating the instances of account 1, bank account, the person is Alice, the balance is 100, and then you do account 1, deposit, account 2, withdraw. Self.owner refers to the specific instance, which is going to be Alice. And this right here, we're calling it self here. This is the actual, the weapon select view and the weapon option. So we're just calling this. This is this. And because we're able to use this self at weapon select view, we can call any of the things we have underneath there. Wow, what a freaking epiphany. All of a sudden I learned how to use a class. Probably to keep using something over and over again. Programming is all about repetition. Repetition. And it's finally clicking on how come you want to use a class like this. That makes absolute freaking sense. Wow. Cool. I feel very accomplished tonight. I'm very excited I decided to stream tonight because I'm like, yeah, I understand things now. So item ID self. Let's go back up to our code. Okay, this is why, and this is how I like the code, because it's like going through a tutorial. I have to explain it to myself. I'm talking about it out loud. Now I'm understanding what's actually happening with the code, and I'm not just copying and pasting. I'm like, oh wait, this is what's happening with it. This is how this actually works. Now I get it. 9 o'clock already. Damn, we was streaming for 3 hours. That's craziness. Probably the last 20 minutes I'll be live. So we'll get this code fixed. Make sure it works. If it doesn't work, I'll fucking work on the side, and then I'll display it again on another stream. Tomorrow night I'll be live with Kingdom Hearts. I'll get through that game and beat it. All right, where the hell did I leave off? Jesus. So, all right. So, are we left here? We did item ID. Is going to be. Wait, what? Game ID. Self.game ID. Item ID is going to be selected weapon ID. I have put comments here. It looks like this is building a. And the item type is going to be the self.item type. And then we're going to have the item underscore name, which will be the selected weapon and name, and then points will be assigned to points. Then we're gonna do a session. We're gonna do a new session. We're gonna call this what is this? I guess the structure of adding loot to the player profile. We're calling the player loot table, and inside that player root, we're telling it to match all these parameters based on what's actually happening with the information above to add the loot. Then we're gonna make a session, which is going to be the update session.add to the player loot table. Oops, session.add. I said that wrong. To the new loot, calling the new loot. I guess this isn't a function. To a new loot couples. I guess. What is this? I'm not sure what the hell this is. Let me just explain. I understand what it is, but I can't explain it. Like, explain this as I'm a 5th grader. Like, I understand we're making a variable that's calling the player loot table. Inside the player loot table, we're giving the table, the columns of player loot with the player profile, that player ID, with the column of game ID, which is calling the weapon view class of that game ID, then the item ID and the selected weapon ID, which is up over here, and then the item type, which is the weapon view item type, and then the item name, which is probably in here somewhere as well, I'm going to presume, which is the selected weapon name, and then the points of the point. So actually this is making, okay, I see what it's doing. I didn't need the GPT to explain it, so I just had to talk it out. So this is making I just want to know what the hell this is. Is this a tuple? Is this a tuple or a string? What is this? I just know we're creating a new variable, a new loot variable that pulls the class. It has a variable. I just want to know what this actual whole thing is. Oh, it's an instance. Oh, it's the instance. Oh, we're creating the instance of the player loot table. I gotcha. Okay. Understood. So we're just creating, we're creating a variable called new loot that's actually creating instance of the player loot class with all the parameters of our player loot table that's tying back to all the variables that we're taking in from the end user to create a new session, to call the new loot variable, to then session.commit and send all this information to player loot table using this variable with all this information that we have captured up in this code. Oh, actually all this code. Got it. It's an instance of the player loot. Got it. Okay. Totally understand now. Look at that, chat. I'm excited. I are learning. If I need to slow down at all as I'm explaining things back, just please tell me, oh, dude, slow down. You talk too fucking fast or something like that. I don't know. So now that we did that, so now we can say underneath here, you await interaction response. Response dot send message. Oops. Added selected weapon and its name to your profile. You gained, actually this GPT says to your profile with points, you gained more points. You gained, we type in points. Oh, actually, let's do this. Let's make this imperial true. We'll do this EPH. I'm not seeing that pop up. I make all they all be like that? Anyway. Then, because we're still in the try message, we still need the exception. We never built that yet. So now we need an accept message to say, hey, if there's an exception, make that, give it an alias of E. So we're going to define exception as E, is what we're pretty much saying. And we're going to give it a logging area. I have logging initiated. So instead of doing a print message, I can just have it log any errors. Instead of using print, I use this module called logging. And then I set up the basic logging. I did comment. I just stopped commenting to show that I wasn't copying. See, I'm not copying and pasting. I'm literally typing everything. I'm just not commenting like a butthead. Then I set up basic logging, and the level is logging. It's really just information I want to grab. That's what level means. The level is assigned to logging.info. I'm just trying to grab anything any information that's happening for what happens across the whole application that's going on with it. I lost this fucking thing now. LA. Shit. Oh no, I lost my fucking place I was. This is the largest application I've ever written in my entire life. 400 fucking lines of code almost. That's absolutely ridiculously amazing. I lost my code. Great profiles underneath the freaking. Oh, here we go. Weapon embed. It should be right here. Here we go. Logging.error. Then we can throw around and say, hey, you have an error. Make a string saying error adding loot. And then we'll call E back in. F is an F string, and what's nice about F string, it's a format string, so we can just turn around and instead of like doing all this crazy concatenation of bringing in this the variable that we want to call, which would be this. We just put F, the quotation marks, put the E in between it, the variable we want in these squiggly brackets, and it'll spit back this whole error message with the variable message of the error that will spit out based on what it's supposed to say. So we give some error message saying, hey, error adding loot. Python's going to spit back saying whatever the try except was, it will give us it after our message here. And then we'll say await interaction response send message and error adding loot imperial true. And I will give the error message. Actually, we want to say this. We want to say failed to add loot to your profile. We want to say actually. Cool. Now we can create now we can actually create the real command. That was just the view to do shit. That wasn't even the actual command that we want to create. I think I actually deleted that command. Because you probably want to create after this. So now we can create this command anywhere we want. So this is happening before the paginator. This is the paginator. So we're going to create a new command, probably underneath our add profile, I think. Yeah, right before Revenant Weapons, we'll do it. So command to add loot to a player profile. At bot./command. The name of that /command is going to be add loot. The description is going to be, it does that shit. Description going to be add loot to your profile. And Oh, all right. All right. Add loot to your profile and gain points. I don't know. We'll come up with something later, more fun later. Right now, it's just getting this stuff right. Now we need to do. I don't think it's gonna be that. I think we need to do the. I think what you do is we define. We made a command. We have to define our command, and it has to be the CTX, the game. What's saying here is going to be the application content, then the game, which will be a string, and the item type, which will be a string. Okay, those are the parameters that we take from our command. So we're going to say async define add loot. Nope. It's going to be add loot CTX Discord dot application context. And inside that is going to be game. And these will be the options that when you provide, that will pop up when you type /add loot. This will actually pop up for the user to type in, okay, here's the game you have to select, and then item type. Also be a string. This is our function for our command. Now we can say try. Inside our try, we will, we can do that. Get the game and item from the database. We can do game entry is, we're going to do a session dot query, and that's going to be where we support the game. So let's go after our supported game table. Supported game. We'll filter on the supported game, and that'll be on equals game. So filter supported game equals the actual game name. Give me the very first record of that filter. If not game entry, meaning if the game is not, if the game that you selected is not in that game entry, if not game entry, await await.ctx send, saying game not found, please use the list provide. Actually, we'll just say is not supported. Is not supported. And then we'll do EPH, ethereal, emphreal. EHEMERAL equals true. EPHEMERAL, which means it'll only be visible to that person. And then return. Okay, and now we want to do, this is still inside our try. Outside of our if statement, we'll do if item type dot lower. We want to lower it, assigned to the weapon. We want to lower it because if someone types in, like, you know, AS-10 bulldog, we just want to have it normalize the data, make it lowercase. So they can just, you know, because it'll just work better. Especially if we're trying to match by name, we want it to be exact. Mm-hmm. If item, weapons. Yo, Dunny coming with that follow. I appreciate it. How are you doing tonight? I hope you're having a good night. Wait, if weapon. How's your night going? Or day, depending on where you are from. Or afternoon, for that matter. Wait, this is gonna be weapons. This is before I go further, I want to make sure I'm understanding what I'm doing. So I'm going after the item type, lowering it so it's normalized, looking at the weapon, and then I want to query the Remnant 2 weapon database or table, and bring back the game ID and the game entry ID, and bring back every single record that's available. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. This is just querying everything right now. So it's going to be weapon. And we'll say weapons is equal to session dot query is going to be remnant to weapon, which is our database, our table or our class we made up there. We're filter on this class. Remnant to weapon. Weapon. Spelling is not my forte. Game underscore ID is equal to game entry dot ID. Not D. ID. And I want to dot all. I think is what it was saying we wanted to do. Yes. Now to bring back every single we'll query the weapon table, filter it based on only the weapon, the actual Remnant 2 weapon ID. So the weapon, oh my goodness. We'll filter on the Remnant game ID and bring back everything that's available. Every single record we'll bring back. Now we want to see the weapon options. So calling back up to the weapon options. Weapon. Or making a new variable for weapon options will be another. It's going to be a dictionary or a list within a dictionary. Weapon. Come on. ID. You can do this. I believe in you. You can type. Actually, it would help if I actually made a dictionary correctly. So weapon, and this is going to be weapon ID. This is going to be our key. Is going to be weapon ID. Our value is going to be the weapon, which is coming from the weapon, which is actually being, where was that? Which is this right here. If I type lower equals weapon, which is being created up somewhere earlier, it'll be here. And we'll say weapon now has the weapon ID. Then we're gonna have to do, actually no, I'm sorry, this is gonna be a for loop somewhere. We're creating dictionary comprehension. I'll make a for loop earlier. This is what the weapon, that's why it's not assigned yet. So weapon, and then it's gonna be weapon dot name of the actual weapon, and then we have to do weapon type. Oh wait, hold on. Hold the phone. I'm going too fast. It's gonna be, I have to make my keys. Name. Make, oh no. Make my name. I'm going way too fast here. I have to slow down. I gotta make my keys. So name be assigned to weapon.name, and then we'll have a weapon type. All right. Which would be connected to our value of weapon.weapon type. Weapon dot weapon dot weapon type. Spelling is hard. And then underneath that, we'll do for weapon and weapons. And now that's all initialized. Because now we have our weapon here. Because now it's like, oh, because we're making our temporary variable that will store every single thing we're looping through here. Then underneath here, we'll make another if not weapon options. We're going to yell at the user and say, hey, there's no weapons found for this game. And we can say, actually, it's exactly what I wanted to say. No weapons found for game. Oops, that was weird. I love this thing. This extension I have is called, what's it called? A black box AI. It's pretty on point. Like, it looks at other areas of what you're coding and keeps track of what's actually happening. It's like, oh, did you want to do this? And it's like, oh, yeah, exactly what I want to do. So it's pretty freaking cool. Then... sure, restart those. I'll return nothing. Now, on outside of our thing, we will actually then call our weapon select. We'll make a new instance of our weapon select view class with the context of the weapon view options, the game entry, and the item type is what we need for this instance. Then we will tell the user, hey, we're going to send you, it's going to send a message to the user, respond, saying that you need to select a weapon from the list below, right? And we're going to call in the view that we set, we assigned back up here. I'll be back up our class. And it's going to be ephemeral. I don't know how to pronounce that shit. It won't be visible to anyone else but the user. I was going to say that from now on. I'll be invisible. I'll be the invisible message to everyone else. To Muriel. I'm just learning about that now in cloud security for Google. I was like, oh, hey, I know that word. But what's everyone else up to tonight? I hope everyone's having a good day. This has been fun doing this. Just kind of like sitting back, learning, and teaching back when I'm learning. It's fun. I like doing stuff like this. Hope everyone else is enjoying. And if you're bored, sorry. I'll be back tomorrow night with Kingdom Hearts if you're into Kingdom Hearts. And I'll probably be back Sunday at some point with probably more Remnant 2. Trying to get through that. I'm trying to get through that, the second DLC. It's such a pain. We're gonna create a new item. We'll create a new f string item type, and then we can say the item type, the item underscore type, that we'll say is not supported. Which not supported yet? I guess that'd be if I'm not up. If this isn't fully updated yet to DLC 3 when DLC 3 drops. And there's a new item type, which there shouldn't be. The item type is handgun, long gun, or melee. Unless Remnant 2 is adding a whole different type of weapons into the game, that'd be interesting, but I don't think that will happen. My gosh, I'm tired of typing this word. It's a weird word to type. And that's it. I think that's the full command. I think that's everything. But I feel like, oh, wait, hold on. I have to do an accept. I need to do an accept error. I'm like, wait, accept. Oop. Accept exception as E. And then we can say logging the error. Actually, this would be a database error, wouldn't it? Database error. And then this would also say await.ctx.send respond, actually, respond. And then we can say failed, oops. Failed to fetch loop from database. And we can say, actually, we failed to fetch weapons from database. Equals true. And I think that is the full code, but there are a few issues I'm seeing here. There's 2 errors. I'm trying to figure out where the hell they are. They're over in here. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's the one I was working on. That's garbage now. There's one more line of code that doesn't seem to like something. Select is not defined. Should be. This should be this. I don't know. We're going to do capital. If it doesn't work, we're going to make it lowercase. All right. Let's switch over to Discord screen. We'll put this up top. Let's grab, where's my Discord? And we'll go to here. We will activate our bot. Bot is active. Make sure it's working correctly. I don't think add weapons is registered yet, or add loot. What I named it? Add loot, or named it add loot. I might want to rename that now I'm thinking about it. Because it's gonna be. There we go. Add loot. Game. Item type. We'll do long gun. Failed to touch weapons. Got an I spelled infamy wrong somewhere. Man. Message send. I have 6 of these areas, so bitching about something here. So this is bitching about. Okay, I'm actually saying error root database error root database error messageable dot send got an expected keyword error ephemeral. So it's looks like it's the problem. Failed to fetch weapons from database. So it looks like it was. But no, because I can dismiss this message. That's working. Did I spell something? Did I spell something wrong? Fuck these spells then. EPHEMERAL. Spelled correct. It means I have it spelled somewhere incorrectly. Fill this again. I'm debating, chat, if I should rename this add loot to add to like add rem 2 loot or rem 2 loot just because it's more specific. Actually, I don't need to do that. I'll just have to add new filter commands in. That's fine. Never mind. I'm overthinking. Leave me alone. All right, move this back up. Where's my Discord again? / add loot 1 long gun. I'll add a description to this, but whatever. It doesn't like infamill. All right, let's drop anything. Let's just get rid of infamill for now. I'll have to figure it out. I'll figure that out later. Game 1 is not supported. So it wants the actual... Huh. But Remnant 2 is supported. I'm not getting any error messages down here either. So that's not good. Why doesn't it like that? So add loot. Game Remnant 2 is not supported. Now I'm confused. Let me go look at our tables really fast. Remnant 2. Can I spell something right? Let's try that again, hold on. Remnant. Yeah, no, I spelled that right. Slash add loot. Let me do, let me just do this too. Look at weapons, make sure I'm typing long gun correctly. It's got space. Okay. So it's LUNG. What? Okay, that's working. Add loot. So, I'm not getting any error messages. This is weird. So, I think I need to add some logging somewhere in here. I'm at 3 hours and 20, almost 3 hours and 20 minutes still, but I think the stream might be ending tonight. Maybe a lot of good progress here, and I was just stuck on probably figuring out logic. Why it's not working. Where's my add loot? Here we go. I want to try something actually. What's my thing? All right. So now let's just refresh Discord as well. And we'll do add loot. Mother fudger. Add loot. Remnant 2. That didn't matter. I didn't think it was going to matter, but whatever. Trying. I have to figure out why now this isn't working. I think I need to put more. Well, I have try except everywhere, don't I? Well, this is just a view, so I don't think that's the issue. I think where it's having issues is with this command here, actually. I think the issue we're seeing right now, what we're having issues with, is the add loot button, the add loot command right now. So it's going to get the game and game item from the supported game database. Okay, if the game is not found give back a message of game is not supported. Crazy, because it is. Supported game filter. Do I have something wrong? Oh wait, I see. I get it. I see what I did here. See what happens? I missed one little thing. Supported that game. I missed the parameter of that game. So what's happening is, okay, so I see what happened here. So supported game is equal to game, but it doesn't know what to match on. So it's just looking at a table. It's like, all right, well, I don't know which one to match me on. There's nothing here. To me, it's not supported. But when I do that game, I can now type in the full name of Remnant 2. It now should match the game name. Move on to this step. Look for the weapon. And then look up the weapon and filter based on the game ID and the game entry ID, and I can pull up the weapon ID. All right, let's try this. Let's reset this. Go into here. Oops. Add loot. Item type long gun is not supported yet. Okay. That's not true because it is. So we moved on from, so we got that working, so that's cool. So are we doing a lower? Where did I do a lower for? If item type lower. I'm not sure what this is doing here. Let me have this explain this to me really quick. Sure, I quite understand this line of code. You mean weapon? I'm not sure I understand like where this is pulling from. Where is it getting? Is it getting it from the for loop? I'm going to guess that's where it's getting it from, right? The for loop. If the lower type weapon is equal to this the weapon in there. So let's explain this whole code now. So is weapon the variable in the for loop? And in that case, why wouldn't it just be weapon? Because it can't be. It's just not part of the for loop. Okay, gotcha. So it is part of the for loop. So I checks the item type is weapon is this checks if the item type is case sensitive. But I'm not sure where game entry is coming from. Oh, game entry. This right up here. Okay, gotcha. The variable I set up earlier. So game entry and Remnant 2. Wait, what's the table? Wait. What's the table? Go to Rem 2 weapons. And the game, it's game ID. It's not ID. It's game ID. I think that's the issue we're having too. I think right here. Got. Oh no. Okay. Did I change this to game ID though? I don't think I did. Right? No, it's ID. This is a loop variable meaning represents each item in the weapons list. Yes, I understand that. The list of weapon obtained. That's weapon is a variable for loop representing. Right. So this is grabbing. So if the item type is equal to the weapon typed in. So hold on. Game ID from game entry. The resource told in the weapons variable, which is a list of weapon to remnant to object weapon. Now. I don't know why it's not working then. Because it should. Getting tired too. Remnant 2. There's a value in the table. So why is this failing? I'm not understanding why this is failing. So head loot. Oh, I just realized how it's supposed to work. So add remnant. I got it. I just realized how this whole thing's supposed to work. Weapon. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we type in the word weapon. Okay. But now it failed. So why did it fail? Do we have an error message or why it failed? Item class Discord commands. What did I type in? Expected item, not class. That's okay. That was my issue. I didn't understand how to use the command, and now I do. It just clicked for me when I was looking at something. So it doesn't like something here. So it seems there's an issue with how the CTX and ITAR are being handled. Let's make sure everything's correctly referenced and improve error handling to catch where things might be. I have to rewrite this whole code, I think. Can we add logging to this? Going here, wouldn't it? Before the try. Logging. Info. What to do? F. Adding. Loot. Adding loot. Game. We could say the game name. And then we could say the item type would be the item. Oops. the item type. We do. Oh, I do an item type already. Lower, right? Okay. That gives us a little bit of hopefully context that will see why it's not working correctly. We could do remnant to weapon. Fuck. Oh, what was the error message though? I just want to review our code. Don't have anything typed funky or anything. I have it review the code with the error messages that we got because I'm a little confused. Oh, there we go. There's an issue with the callback handling, particularly in the way the interaction context is being passed around. Let's refine this to weapon select view and weapon select classes to ensure they're correctly interacting with the Discord API. Okay. I'm gonna have to understand because now I have to go through this all again and see what the hell we're doing. I was just making some changes that I want to understand, and I just don't have the brain power anymore tonight. My brain's cells are on fry right now. So we're gonna have to update this. So it's something we did here, this code. It's actually having us change this. That what the fuck is Let's say we're rebuilding, we're refactoring this whole code. Discord. So it's doing something with, it's actually, I don't know, I'm gonna have to review this and understand what the hell's going on because I'm confused now why we're rebuilding it. It's something the way that it's handling the interaction context and ensuring the drop downs work correctly. So there's something going on with the drop downs. That's why it's not working correctly. It can't fetch the data correctly because the weapon view that we built isn't selecting it correctly. So we're gonna have to refactor this code a little bit. It looks like we're creating it to use the Discord UI and adding the view to it, and that looks like it might fix it. I don't know. There's a lot of things I have to understand what the fuck we're doing now because I don't know what the hell we're doing right now. So I understood everything up until now, and my brain is just fried. So, guys, it's been awesome. It's been fun. It's been real. I learned a lot tonight. I love learning. It's one of my favorite things to do. I hope everyone has enjoyed this little stream of Python. I didn't want to play a game tonight. There's a free extra stream I wanted to do, so I'm going to be coding anyway. Might as well hung out and stream, right? So I appreciate everyone hanging, chilling out, and lurking. It means a lot. I'll be back again tomorrow, but tomorrow we will be playing Kingdom Hearts. So until then, I'll see you all tomorrow night. Have a great night and a better day tomorrow. I'll see you then. Peace out, everyone.